Okay, I'm up.
We're looking at you, LaCroix.
Okay.
Hashtag what?
So weird.
You're so weird.
Hashtag your face.
See what I'm dealing with here.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we are
Okay.
back. What? From a week spent in Berwick, Pennsylvania, which is where John and, he likes to say, got older. And it's in northeast Pennsylvania near Scranton area. So
The Electric City.
if you're any of you Office fans, it's close to there.
We were coming to Pennsylvania from the beach. I saw that sign, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, going home to Pennsylvania home versus being here home is very, very similar. Not much has changed since I left. It's a kind of a quiet town, except on Friday nights in the fall, like many, many towns, and just like this town. And
Friday night football.
That's right. And Marilyn and I were talking earlier. It's really the same. We don't do much different when we're there as opposed to what we do here. The difference here is that we're just surrounded by trees, whereas at my parents' house, it's like 2.5 acres of flat, clear land. So when wildlife comes by, you can actually see them really well, and they don't have to come super close. But FYI, we did get some sweet footage of a bear earlier this morning. Who came very, very
Here.
close, right here. Anyway, what kind of things do you boys do when we're in Pennsylvania?
Swim at
Where?
their neighbor's pool.
Swim at the neighbor's pool. Mimi and Pawpaw have plenty of room for a pool, but there's really no need for them together. The neighbors are, like 100 yards away?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not far, and they love letting us use it when they're not using it, and so it's great, really convenient. We've been doing that since as long as I can remember. Even when the neighbors lived in town, they had a pool there too. We used to go there and swim. It was just always really fun.
So in town, meaning where your parents live, it's more,
Out of town.
yeah, I guess. I guess
Yeah,
that didn't
training.
need clarification, but
In town versus not in town.
yeah.
Cheers.
Again, really?
Really?
What do you like to do at Mimi and Pawpaw's house?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yes, swim.
Okay. Swimming. Yeah. What did we do special this time? What was one of those things we did that was special that took all day?
Knoebels.
Thanks for trying to get Miles to say it,
Oh.
but thanks, bud.
I didn't even think.
Knoebels Amusement Resort in Elysburg, Pennsylvania. It's about 45 minutes away from my parents' house. It is an amusement resort. It's got roller coasters, it's got games, it's got food, it's got all kinds of stuff. It's got shows, it's got an arcade. We somehow managed to not go to the arcade this time, which is
It was
pretty
pretty
shocking
weird.
for us.
I know why though. The weather was perfect. When we've gone to the arcade there before, it was pouring rain,
Yeah.
and we needed to get undercover.
Yeah, as did everyone else. So when
Yeah.
that happens, though, gravitate to the pinball area because we kind of had that sort of to ourselves. I think
That's right.
Wyatt got to play most of the pinball machines last year.
I
But
played like all of them.
yeah. But
once.
anyway, and that brings me to this point about video. We didn't talk about in our intro video a month ago or 6 weeks ago, whenever that was. Like, one of the reasons that I want to be doing this is that we don't see my family a lot. We get to Pennsylvania like twice a year, usually for a week in the summer and usually the week of Thanksgiving. A lot of times that's about it. And I don't see like extended family a lot of the time. But in this case, so hold on one second. Going back. So it's nice to make these videos of these things happening with my family and stuff, so that when these two get older, they'll have more to look back on than I do. Like growing up, we took pictures, took photographs, and that's all that we had at the time. Not that video cameras didn't exist, but I mean, pretty much all of us walk around with a video camera in our pocket these days, right? So you can be doing this, or we can be doing this anytime we want to. And they'll have things like that are better than just, a 5x7 sheet of paper in a book, later. So anyway, cool thing about this trip is that my cousin and her 3 children, along with my aunt and uncle, actually joined us on the Knoebels trip, which was really, really fun, so unexpected. So we had a group of, I don't know, it was pretty good size, probably 12, maybe more.
13 total.
13 total, so 12, maybe more, like I said once, clarifying things. Appreciate the specificity. Nailed specificity right there, okay? Nailed it twice. Thank you very much.
Well, we had to count when
Proud
we were
personal
all
achievements.
riding a ride, and we had to know how many people. So that's why I remember that.
13. Did we all ride, or was it 14 because one of us didn't ride?
No. Anyway,
it doesn't really matter. It was 12
boring.
or so.
Anywho.
But so it was really cool to have the family join us on that trip. So we got lots of videos of things. There are some great roller coasters. One of the best, or the best, wooden roller coaster in the country is there. It's called the Phoenix. It's super, super fun.
It's been voted the best wooden roller coaster since 2018, and I think every year after.
In the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah, and they have a second wooden roller coaster actually that's newer. The Phoenix was originally at a different park, and Knoebels bought it and brought it to their park
Did
and
they
assembled
take it apart? Probably. You said
Answer
took
your own
it.
question.
You said
Answer
took
your
it.
own
Just sit
question.
up out here.
Yes.
Yes, they definitely took it apart. If they didn't, please let me know in the comments. It's down below. So, what else? Oh, so the second wooden roller coaster, what's that one called?
Twister.
Twister.
The Twister.
So that one's cool. I think the newest roller coaster they have is called Impulse. Impulse, and it's like it's really, really cool. Only 8 people at a time, but it's a super fun ride.
The neat thing about Knoebels is, I grew up down south, and the amusement parks
Tell by your voice.
that were around me to go to was Carowinds in Charlotte, which is, huge. And you have to pay to park. You have to pay a fee to get in the park. And Knoebels just has this almost fair-like feel, and it's completely free to park and completely free to go into the park. You pay per ride with tickets, kind of old school tickets. They give you a book of tickets, and the cool thing is,
you buy a book of tickets. They don't give you a book.
Well, yeah, you buy a book of tickets, and
free.
you can use them whenever. So, if you don't use all of your tickets at that trip, you just save them, and they never expire. And so it's just kind of got a fair carnival feel.
Yeah.
It's like you're stepping back in time, I think.
It is. It's very old school. It's permanent, unlike a carnival or a fair.
Yes.
So it stays there all the time.
Yeah.
Closes, in the winter. But I think that's the coolest thing about Knoebels versus Disney or Dollywood or Universal or Cedar Point, or the list goes on and on. Even if you just want to go and walk around, like if you're older or don't get around well or for whatever reason, and you want to go with your family and have a fun day, you can go to Knoebels. And even if you can't ride anything, it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
So obviously if you want to eat something or play an arcade game or whatever, or play a game or whatever, that all costs money. But you can walk freely into the park and just walk around and enjoy an awesome day, just like we did. And I think, for instance, my dad didn't do everything. He did a few things, but he didn't do a ton of things. But it didn't cost him anything just to walk around, And that's that's probably the most old school thing about it. There's not a turnstile and a ticket booth where you have to drop $100 just to walk through the.
And even that point you made, but I think is huge. So if you don't ride roller coasters, or you are not one to go and ride rides, but you want to go and have a good time with your friends or family, it doesn't cost you anything to do that. I think that's really, really cool.
And one of my other favorite things. Oh yeah, and my sister and her daughter came. I forgot about them. Didn't forget about them. We see them though. Anyway, one of my other favorite things is that, he's 5, and even when he was younger, there were plenty of things he could do. And I'm 35 again, and I love roller coasters, and so I don't get disappointed at the number of rides at Knoebels. It's awesome. I only rode 3 or 4 things, but they're so much fun, and it's great. And but there's stuff for everybody. There's a train, y'all kind of cram into these little train cars. You can go out through the woods. I forget how far it is, but
it's like a mile and a half, I think it says.
And they
or
have
a loop, mile and a half loop.
They have feed out for the deer and stuff.
They have cabins in the park that you can rent.
Inside the park.
Inside the park. So you just, I guess, pay the fee to, to rent an RV, or you bring your own and you pay a fee, and then you can camp there. But they also have, freestanding homes and cabins that you can also rent for larger groups or what have you.
Yeah, I don't think you can bring an RV into the park.
That's
nearby.
They have some RVs there.
They do?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've seen some.
All right, I missed that part. So anyway, there's lots of options. You can stay there. It's rural. Elysburg, Pennsylvania that's Elysburg, is not any sort of bustling metropolis. It's in the woods, just kind of like we are here. It's just that Knoebels is much more of an amusement park than this is. But there's places to take. Bloomsburg isn't far, and Bloomsburg has a university. So there's plenty of things. They have lots of events that they have to have people have places for people to stay. So it's not bad. It's probably about Knoebels. That is. It's probably about 25 minutes off of Interstate 80, which runs all the way across Pennsylvania and beyond in both directions. But it's really cool. What were your favorite parts of Knoebels?
What is your favorite part of Knoebels? I know what it is.
What?
The hand car. Did you ride that? He did.
We didn't see him.
We were doing something else.
Yeah.
I now like Twister. I rode it for the first time. If you ride it, be prepared for the headache at the end, because it's very rickety.
It rattles.
It's just, yeah, it's not super smooth. I don't always ride that one. I didn't ride that one that time. I know that on that trip because my neck was hurting. I had an incident a bunch of years ago, and things can knock my neck kind of out of whack and make it really uncomfortable. And because that particular ride isn't super smooth, I opted to skip that one. It's fun though. I mean, it really just depends on how I'm feeling on a given day whether I go ahead and ride that one. The Phoenix was one of the earliest things we did, so and so was Impulse for those of us that did it. So, but yeah, just walking around and carrying a camera bag and all the other things that we did, it just eventually my neck starts to get pretty uncomfortable. So now and then I'll skip some things, and it's similar to Dollywood if you've been there in that it has thrill rides, whereas I don't think of many of the things like at Disney World being thrill rides. They're fun, super fun, but this is like not everybody can go on it even if they're tall enough fun. Like he wouldn't go on a lot of the things even if he were tall enough to ride at Knoebels, but it's definitely a different kind of fun. It's a different kind of atmosphere. What about the food? What did Mama have to have?
You don't know? I had to leave you and go get them because I had to have them when we're up in the Northeast. Pierogies. I love pierogies.
I now like them.
We have them down here in the freezer section of
So we
the
don't have them,
grocery
is what you're
store.
saying.
And
Stop.
we
Hashtag don't say it again.
yeah. So when I'm up there, I like to get some because they're really good. I got some like loaded baked potato ones that have cheese and sour cream and bacon on top and just
Yeah, if
Good
you don't know
food.
what a pierogi is, it's I mean, well, we'll show you later. But yeah, they're good. What did I have? What did I have to have?
Potato cake?
Potato cakes, potato pancakes. Super, super good. Nice
They were
greasy,
good.
potatoey staple of the Northeast.
similar to a hash brown, but there is a difference.
There's like a
Yeah, a definite
the
difference.
seasoning is different. I don't know what's in them that makes them so
Right.
good. But they're kind of flat like a pancake and shredded potatoes. They're really good. What else?
And they serve them. You can get them with
Oh yeah.
sour cream or applesauce.
Sour cream. And then later in the day, we got, I don't know what anybody else got, but I got a cheeseburger. And I've forgotten how much I like Knoebels cheeseburgers.
I got one there. It was pretty good.
It's like a cheeseburger I remember eating in school many, many years ago. Like it's better than that. It tastes, but it's like I don't know. That's just what it reminds me of. It's so good. The cheese is so melty. You can like barely pull off the bun to put like ketchup or mayo or mustard or anything on it because it's just like so melty and everything's stuck together. Oh man, it was so good. So good.
Theme park.
Theme park food, baby. I mean, can't beat it. I guess you can. Yeah. What else?
It was just we were there from, park is only open from noon to 8 most days in the summer.
They have a hard time finding employees, so if you're looking for a job, hit up Knoebels.
I was just about to say that. Thank
Oh.
you, John.
Well, I had my finger up, sort of.
And
do
so
that.
we got there around. You can get into the park before noon. So we
yeah,
got
because
there.
it opens at 11. Does it open at noon?
the park opened at noon. So we got there around 11:30, I think it was, and we're able to go in, but most of the attractions and the food kiosks places were not open yet because they weren't open till noon. So we got there and we stayed from noon or 11:30 till 8 p.m. when it closed, and it was a solid day.
Funnest day that I've ever had at Knoebels.
He just said funnest. What he meant was most fun.
Funniest.
Was it fun?
Was it fun? Yeah, I don't think we left anything undone that anybody really wanted to do. We certainly passed things up that were like, nope.
We did some new things.
To do some new things.
I've been going to Knoebels ever since I've been a part of this family. Jonan obviously grew up there, so he was
Got over there.
But as long as I've been going, they have a ski lift where you just take a ride up the mountain and then back down, and it's just very scenic and slow, and
There's no option to ski.
no skiing option, but it's really cool. It's never been open. Like, it's never been in operation when I've been there. And when we walk in today, it would be nice to be there, but
Surprise!
we're at Knoebels. When we walked in that day, I noticed that it was just running. It didn't have people on it yet, but it was just, it was running. I was like, is that working? So we rode the ski lift, and Wyatt and I rode together, and then John and Miles rode together, and it was kind of a little nerve-wracking just to get used to.
Didn't really enjoy it going down.
Oh, I thought going down was better than going up. Going up,
Really?
it was a little, There was, there's no seatbelt or anything, and the
It's
thing comes
sad.
down, and
It doesn't lock.
It doesn't lock.
Your feet hold it in place, basically.
And when
Or-
you
or
get
don't.
off, it's hilarious. When you get off, they're like, "Go ahead, just lift the bar." And I was like, "Oh, like you didn't have to like the
There's no
attendant
key.
didn't have to unlock it."
Nah.
They're like, "Oh yeah, you can go ahead."
Old school.
It cracked me up, which it made me a little nervous for him. I kept turning around because John and Miles were behind us. And there's no, like, anything in between your legs to keep you in. And Miles is just sitting on the edge, looking down of the lift bench, and just Jonan's hands around him, and it just made me a little nervous. But
And when she lifted it up, I'm like, "Mom, what are you doing?"
he didn't see
like-
the attendant tell me that I could do it.
Like,
So
what
he
are you
was like, "Wait, you're doing it way too early." I thought it was a little premature myself.
It's funny. You're not down.
You're not anywhere close to the
When
ground.
you lift it up, you're not going to die if you fall out, but you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I thought for sure we still had a good 5 or 6 feet to go before we
Yeah.
lifted up. But anyway,
But
the views are great.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. You can see the whole park from as you're coming down, and it kind of, because it goes up through the trees and comes back down through the trees, like it even kind of opens up as you get down further. You can see more. But it was really cool to be up there because I had never been on that either. I'm sure it was running like when I was a kid and would go, but I wouldn't have been interested in it at that point. It's the Phoenix in the arcade. But it's pretty amazing. The only thing I miss about Knoebels and how they have to do it now is that it closes before dark. So the lights are on, but it's not the same. As I used to be when you could be there till 9, 10 o'clock whenever they used to close. That's the thing that, for me, I definitely miss. It's just really, because it's so dark, it's so rural, to me everything just really pops. Like, even more so than a carnival or fair, because there's just so much more.
You're in the country.
And you're just in the woods with all these gorgeous, colorful lights. Like my favorite thing I think of all the lights is probably it's the Ferris wheel. They call it the giant wheel, but it is giant, and it's awesome. It just changes colors. It's got all kinds of patterns, and it's really cool. But anyway, those little things aside,
I might have some
it was
footage
awesome.
from the before times.
Yeah,
When it
the
was
old
later.
days. The old
it would stay open later.
I
but
remember.
yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Adler.
I hope that wasn't important.
I don't think it was. It was just a blanket. And the scissors.
That, that was the blanket. That sound was a blanket. See?
It's the scissors that I've been asking someone to put away all day. But anyway.
I need a drink. LaCroix.
So, Knoebels, we did that. We got there on a Sunday
To Pennsylvania.
to Pennsylvania, and
Late
then Monday we had gotten in late the day.
Almost midnight.
Yeah, the night before. So we just kind of chilled out on Monday, and then Tuesday we spent at Knoebels, and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we just hung out.
Did some fun food stuff that we'll talk about. Not right now, but we will.
And they went to the pool all 3 of those days,
That's
Wednesday,
pretty
Thursday,
good.
and Friday.
Yeah, it was nice.
And then Saturday we drove all the way back too. So
All the way, 12 hours.
it was a
Yeah,
quick trip.
it's a long trip. It was quick just because, well, things have been happening with us that we weren't even sure we'd be able to go up, and it was kind of a
We
I
had
don't
this
know,
window of time.
a very small window,
We just
smaller
took
than
it.
normal.
Yeah.
And so, and we hadn't even planned on going, but we decided, well, we can.
This might be our only
so
time.
let's-
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's the overall PA recap, including a detailed discussion of Knoebels, which is awesome. And hey, Knoebels, if you offer teachers summer jobs, I'm probably interested. Just saying. Okay, I can send you my resume.
Why would they not?
Because I would only be there for like 2 months.
College students do the same thing, I'm sure.
She doesn't know about college students. Anyway, yeah, I think that might be it for us for now.
Okay.
Knoebels was awesome, was it not?
It was pretty fun.
Ready to go back
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
We'll be there in 12 hours. We'll be there before they open.
I'll be where before then?
Knoebels, if we leave now, we'll be to Knoebels before they open.
Should we go?
But we're not.
Well, we're not. You're right.
Yeah.
Put your light down. All right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet ya.
Okay. Can you turn around?
Dad asleep.
I'm going to smell my hand after sure because
Oh.
I passed out. Hashtag bath time.
All right.
Are we done?
I think so.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Cut. It's like a girl in your class.
See you, Bill. We'll see you Labor Day. Bye, guys. We'll see you Labor Day. Or not.
Thanksgiving.
Okay, we'll see you at Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
See you, Bill. I think Jamie's gonna drive. He is trying to bail. Yeah, well, they've got plenty down their way too.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah. Safe travels and
Definitely. You too.
have a good time at your mom and dad.
We will. We'll see y'all at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Huh.
She got pooped on by a bird.
It's not your hair. It's in my hair.
It is?
Okay. Yes, I thought Theo spit on me.